Hey guys, today we're playing Spider-Man Far From Home in VR. Now if you don't know, there are two Spider-Man VR games. We are playing Far From Home. दूसरा जो है वो Homecoming है. But if you look at two games, Homecoming doesn't really support web slinging. So what I've gone ahead and done is picked Far From Home so that we can test how it would actually feel to bloody be Spider-Man. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, right from the start, the first thing I notice is how good this game looks. Yes, there is some anti-aliasing issues. Sometimes I find the shadow is a little too jagged. But this is running at the max graphics. And while in VR, it doesn't really seem that bad. And this game seems to be set in an alternate universe where Peter Parker is 10 feet tall. Because no matter how much I tiptoe or jump, this guy seems to remain on his feet crouched. And the worst part about it is that there is no height calibration option in this game. So you've got to look like a chicken all along. But let's talk about what really matters. The locomotion, the web slinging. Initially, I felt a little bit of motion sickness, but within 15 minutes of gameplay, I immediately got accustomed to the way our character turns around and moves. And there are a lot of different options in the game which allow you to make it comfortable. But I've been playing completely immersive. And I've got to say that it really isn't that disturbing to your mind. Like, maybe it's because I am an experienced VR gamer and I've been gaming on the VR headset for a long time. But personally, what I felt is that I didn't really feel much motion sickness. But I have to admit that locomotion was a bit difficult because while you use the joystick, while you would expect yourself to use the joystick to move around, this is how it's set up. If you push the joystick forward, you move forward in the direction that you're looking in. But if you move the joystick left or right, then you start turning when you really don't want to. And regardless of what settings you put, if you pull back your joystick, you look around 180 degrees. And that can be a pain sometimes because I don't really want to always keep flipping around. But again, eventually that's something that you will get used to. And once you do, things get a little bit more comfortable. Now, there are a lot of other ways you can move around the city. One, as you can see, I can web sling. Web slinging has two modes. One is the easy mode. And you notice that I'm using the easy mode right now, and you can figure that out by looking at how I'm all automatically being drawn towards the web where I shoot it. So if I shoot a web, you can see that it's sort of retracting and pulling me close to where I've anchored it. Whereas, to be honest, I don't think that's what would happen in a real life scenario. It doesn't really act as a rope as I would like it to. It acts more like a stick that you've stuck, or rather, more like a grappling hook, which is not flimsy, which is like a pretty stiff grappling hook. But I mean, yeah, regardless, it still does feel pretty cool. I still love the sound effects. I still feel like I'm Spider-Man, so it's not really a huge complaint. But I definitely think that if they put in the work, this could have been a really cool game. Now, another factor is the repetition of the models they've used. Now, I understand that there are some restrictions to VR games today, but when we look at a city of this scale, and we look at the repetition of the color scheme, at least on the buildings, it feels it really gets old really quickly, and that sort of gets a little too jarring. Another thing I really liked about the game is the fact that you can wall run and wall climb in this game. So if you go ahead and stick yourself to a building, you can actually just go ahead and push the joystick up and you start moving up on the building. But if you looked around, then you can start wall running. And your jump would basically hold that velocity, so you will be able to jump across buildings, and it does feel pretty smooth. What makes it even better is the fact that your avatar actually animates itself very appropriately. So if you look at your feet while running across walls or climbing up walls, you can actually see your feet move in the right direction, which really does feel cool. Even though I appreciate the way they've animated the avatar, it's far from perfect. And the reason I say that is because sometimes you'll find yourself where the character sort of glitches out, and it can totally break your immersion. Now, apart from the fact that there are repetitive buildings and there are repetitive, cars in the model, not so interactive NPCs, I just felt like they should have done a decent job with the physics. Because when you're playing a game like Spider-Man, the one thing that's going to matter a lot is the way the web interacts with the game. You web a person, I would like to see them get webbed up. I web a car, I would like to see it get stopped. If I'm swinging, I would like to see the rope bend, right? I would like to see my web bend a bit. Now, the lack of physics in this game sort of frustrated me. Now here's what's insane. The NPCs will curse at you if you jaywalk. However, they won't give a shit if you shoot a web through their face. 15 minutes into the game, I actually genuinely got really bored of this game. But to be fair, I have to be honest with you guys, I haven't really tried out the story mode. This game does have a story mode, but looking at the free play, it really discourages me to even try out the story mode. However, if you guys feel like it, go ahead and comment, and I'll go ahead and do a let's play series for the story mode. The one thing I enjoyed a lot is the fact that I was able to pull off some really cool maneuvers after a while. Like, even though it's a shabby web slinging system, even though the physics isn't right, you do get used to it eventually. And the swinging does feel weirdly cool. Like, you know there's a lot of things that's wrong with it, but just the fact that you've pulled off some really cool maneuvers make you feel like you've done something really cool. And I like that sense of satisfaction from the game. I did find two minigames in the game. The first one was a time trial, in which you had to basically enter these small checkpoints which you would find around the world, which would start with the green flag that we just saw, and then you just have to proceed to get through them. But again, it was okay. The only thing I enjoyed was these orbs that were on the that were floating around, which sort of gave you a boost, which made it a little bit difficult to control. But other than that, I mean, really, is this the only minigame you have? They have another one. We'll also have a look at that one. The only other minigame I found was one where you had a combat trial. Now, you would expect this to be super cool, right? Why not throw in Carnage or Venom or get Dr. Octavius? And guess what we get? We get some drones, we get an area we can't get out of, and we get this open ass building out of which I'm supposed to shoot webs at them. I mean, come on. This is just lazy. This is just lazy thinking. All in all, it was some kind of a web slinging experience. Not exactly something that I would be very happy about. You could go ahead into the game to like harass some people and get no reactions out of it, or go ahead and like stick yourself to cars and chill around, but that's about it. There doesn't really seem much to be there. It feels like more of a teaser than an actual game. I really wish they put in more efforts, because it seems like this could have been a really cool game. If you guys do want me to go ahead and like test out the story mode, then comment down below, and I'll go ahead and make a let's play series on the story mode for this game.